Alright, what's going on? Today's a very important video. Hopefully y'all can see that board pretty good. Alright. How's it with the light? Is it better without the light? Does it really matter? I know sometimes my video is too bright, but hopefully while I'm talking, you're looking at the chart, you can see what we got going on here. Pretty self-explanatory, I think, up to now. But basically what we have here, by the way, Blake, welcome to another banger, right? And I'm Forex Money Flipper. My name is Blake, and this is Key Levels, right? Forex 101, Key Levels, all right? Forex 101 key levels. Okay, and I should probably write that in green right here because that is a very serious thing. This is a very serious thing right here. Okay, I'll circle it in green. That's not green really. That's like supposed to be green, but it don't really look green. Alright, well there you go. So, cool. But what we have here is, we have major key levels right here. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Obviously it could be any variant of 1,000. And sometimes it's not 1,000, right? So sometimes like a pair will be, you know, or something like, you know, if you're trading like different things, you know, gold or something, it'll be different. Like the gold dollar you're trading at, it'll be different. But yeah, so you know, different pairs, you know, some pairs like trading on like 100 point number, right? And like 100.1000, right? And then some are trading on a number like 1.10000 or something like that. You know, that kind of different scales and stuff. But the basic fundamental idea here about these key levels, and really what these really are called, is quarter levels. So, you know, I put key levels just because I'm going to talk about some different things and stuff. But if these right here are quarter levels, right? That's what these are, okay? We're going to be talking about basically, you know, key levels, and you know, I'm talking about what I'm talking about. So I don't know what everybody else is talking about, but I'm talking about what I'm talking about. Okay? So, alright. So basically what we have is these are very important right here. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, okay? And then the next second and most important, I'm guessing you guessed, is halfway, right? In between. So 1,500, you know, 2,500, right? And so basically, now I'm gonna try to be careful here because I don't want to have to redraw this whole thing. So I kind of maybe just want to be careful about that. So, but basically it's like this. So, but I do want to put visuals, okay? So basically it's like let's just try, you know, let's just try to draw some price action on the board here. Let me use this marker. Okay, and I'm sorry I didn't have yellow. I just don't have a yellow dry erase marker because I was gonna put this level be like a yellow because that's how I have it on my chart. This is supposed to be red, but I don't know where my red dry erase marker is right now. So I'm gonna have to buy another one, another color set or whatever with red and yellow. But this is it's just not sunny out today. So, but this is supposed to be red, this is supposed to be orange, and this is supposed to be yellow. But so I might have to use the black one right here. Let's just say price starts let's just say, you know, let's just say like this. So let's say price comes down here, boom, 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 does this little number, checks right here, you know, it does something like this. Okay, I gotta kind of be careful here what I'm doing, but basically, you know, this is kind of how price sometimes tends to act. Um, and this is not gonna be perfect. But we'll just put it like this for right now. Okay? And so basically this is what we got to work with here. And let me see if we can use this, I guess. This is just because it's a slightly different shade of green, but because I don't want to ruin my my markers by getting, like, you know how you get black on the green and then it's too dark and whatever, or you get red on the orange and then it's too red and all that. But basically, you know, you can see what's going on here. So this came down, bounced hard off this 1000 level, right? Bounced real hard off of that, came up, checked around this 1500, right? So, you know, you just only have one test right here. Boom, like it wanted to get away from this, right? Okay, now you have over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests on this 1500, right? Now, I don't know if I should have put more tests on this 2000. Maybe I just was running out of space on the board, and you know, but basically you can see the sort of pattern here, right? In a broad sense, if you sort of ignore, I guess, the some of the little squigglies and stuff, you can see how it kind of, everything's sort of going back and forth between the red. You get what I'm saying? So if you take the broad picture, maybe you zoom out to an hourly or a 4 hour or a daily or whatever you got to do, but you can see that price is bouncing in between these 1000 levels, right? Or these big red quarter levels, right? Big red key levels, right? So, you know, boom, 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 right? And you know, and I probably should have put more tests here, like I mean, I don't know, I just put another test here. So you got, oh, that's green, that's green. Yeah, because I was getting ready to write this. Yeah, okay, so now we got 4 tests on that one. But you know, that's okay. Even though we have more tests on this one than we have on this one, whatever. Alright, but let's look. So what do we have? We have you know, this is, you know, you could fill this in, color this in. Okay, like that, maybe it's fine, but yeah, basically that is like support and resistance area, obviously. So you have this key level, but you're also looking for off of price action. So even if you did not have these key levels, you could still go on a chart with just a line chart or you know, a candlestick chart and Japanese candlestick chart and or a line chart, and go ahead and find these support and resistance zones. And if they're on, you know, depending on which one of these they're on, like you have another one right here. You get what I'm saying? And you have another one right here. Okay? You know, and just a tiny little, not really there. I mean, maybe, you know, because it only tested here and here. So, you know, maybe you might could say that. I guess. But you get what I'm saying. And then you got another one right here. Okay? And so on and so on and so on. Okay? So you're looking at different spots on the chart. Okay? So now, hopefully, it's starting to make sense. Starting to look like, all right, I can see what's going on here. Yeah. So basically, what you want to do is you want to find major points on the market, right? And like this is kind of what I was saying about how this one had more areas, and I don't know, like I probably should have just drawn it from here to here, like this, because we can't know what's going on the left side over here because we can't see that. So we should not extend this necessarily. Like we, you know, if you had zoomed over and you had seen, okay, more support in this zone, then yeah. But right here, we're just having this one page, so we're just gonna focus on what we can see on this page. So, oh, I did it again. I'm like, I need my coffee. I haven't even had any caffeine today. I've not even had any caffeine today. But that's an excuse. That's just an excuse. Now what do I do with my marker? Am I using this one? Okay, there. I fixed it. Now it looks better, right? Because it's more like scale of significance, right? So that's cool. Basically, you know, and you want to look for patterns, right? Like you got a little double top, you know, whatever, continuation, not really a reversal, but, and I know that it's like not perfect, and it's probably not a chart that ever existed, but, you know, and you can check your little volumes down here and whatever, stochastic oscillator, whatever you're using. If you use a MACD or whatever you like to use, but basically, you know, you want to buy and sell on these key levels. You wanna go. You know, you want to focus on, obviously, you know, ideally, your best trades are going to be when you get in on the 1,000 level, like right here, boom. And then, you know, you ride that puppy all the way up to here, take some profits, wait for a correction, maybe down to the 500 level, and then, you know, boom, come up here, see what's going on, take, you know, maybe you take, you know, profits here, or take an additional position, whatever you want to do. It may take a while, actually, because this is pretty short, like, for it to just come up here and then just keep going, I don't know. It may, I just was not having enough room on the whiteboard to really draw out a real market the way it might look, you know. But anyway, so eventually over here, you know, you might take a position here and then, you know, wait for all this to go on. And this is what I was like saying about being careful and whatever, because you might take a position here when it checks back, and then you might take a loss from a stop loss here or something. But then you could re-up right here, take another position, and then boom. So, you know, the idea is to go from zone to zone, you know, from key level to key level, from hopefully, ideally from major key level to major key level, right? So ideally you want to go from 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 to 1,000, because this is pips right here. What I'm talking about, this is pips. So you're getting 1,000 pips on that move, right? So you're getting 1,000 pips, boom, 1,000 pips, boom. I just saw, matter of fact, if you go on the Great British Pound versus US dollar, and you look on March 16th, 2002, if you go on the Great British Pound US dollar, March 16th, 2022, and you look, I think it was March 15th is when the move started at a 1,000 level, if you have your quarter levels marked up. And so I think it was like on the 15th that it started, and then like 3 days later or something like that, no, it was 6 days later, it had reached, man, I think it was definitely 2,000 pips, but it might have been 3,000. I'm not sure, but I know it was a ridiculous move, and it was clear cut, clear as day. If you had bought at this beginning of the bottom of the move, it was right at a 1,000 pip, you know, even number, key level, quarter level, 1,000 level. It was clearly, it turned around right there, boom. If you'd gotten in right there, you would have at least gotten 2,000 pips that week on that move, right? So, you know, and then obviously you could trade that all the way up, right? But that's also too the idea too, right? So part of quarters theory, that's also what they call it, right? You probably, some of y'all been waiting on me to say that, but you know, I'm trying to just do my thing, do what I do. But you know, this is what they call it, right? Quarters theory, right? Quarters theory. Okay, so there you go. So that's really, you know, what they call, you know, this. But the idea, right, is basically if basically the idea, right, is that if it comes up above, like for example, see how it's, you know, kind of bounced off, right, but then it got down below here. It got down below this 1250, right? So the idea is like, man, if it got down below here and it retested and it rejected, it's probably going down to the next quarter level, right? And if it comes up here, right, especially if it's exploding off of a 1,000 level, and this is just all based on my personal experience trading over the last almost year now. But I mean, I haven't been using key levels that long. I've been using them about a few months, something like that. But I've been trading every day, so yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So basically, yeah. So if it bounces off a 1,000 level, right, that's going to be a little bit stronger. Or it's going to be a lot stronger usually, you know. You know, but depending on it may base for a while and then go up or whatever like that. I mean, but anyway, what I'm saying is if it goes up here, right? And that's why, look at it. I mean, I don't know if that's why I drew it, but maybe subconsciously. But it exploded up through here, and then it retested. You see where that? See where that retest happened though? And be interested always in those areas, okay? Because you see, that's just a place you can look for, right? For that market to turn around like that. So it went up, blew up through there, boom. Okay, and now because it blew up through there, you can pretty much know that it's going to come up here, right? And since it's coming off this 1,000 level, and this is just a quarter level right here, and this is a half, well, not really, it's a, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I guess you call it a half level, I'm not sure what they call it, but like a half level, like a whole level. So you got like a whole level, a quarter level, a half level, right? So a whole levels, boom, like that, 1,000, half levels, 500, right? And then you got your quarter levels, right? Which is each one of these. Every space between, right? So basically the idea is if it comes up here, exploded up through here, it's probably going to keep going, right? And since it's coming off this 1,000 level, and it checks right here, it's probably just going to keep going, right? At least up to above the 500. And if it comes up here and it tests, it's probably going up to the next quarter level, right? And then it come down, test again, it's probably going back up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's coming up off this 1,000 level, and usually when it comes off a 1,000 level, it goes to the next 1,000 level, before it does anything else, right? So even if like the market was going to go down eventually, it most likely, that you see on the charts, and you can look on and see if what I'm saying is on the charts or not. You can look for yourself, and let me know what you see, and I'll be interested to hear about it, to hear for what you got to say and what you saw and whatever. Always trying to learn. But yeah, so most likely though, it's gonna go up to right. So to at least to the half level and see what's going on there. But yeah, I mean, most of the time it'll go on up to the 2,000 level, even if it kind of wanted to go down eventually, right? Of course, there's lots of factors that can happen: news, current events, world events. Market sentiment can change, institutional buying and selling. You have all kind of stuff that can happen, liquidity and stuff, and that's all advanced stuff that I don't even fully understand yet. But anyway, I do know that if you can't find the liquidity, they say if you can't find the liquidity, you are the liquidity. So they say that, wait until all the other retailers get stopped out before you get in. So, but you can't always like wait on that, because then sometimes it may not happen and you may just not get in. So, but yeah. So basically, you see how I come up here and then it retests this, and then it goes on up, and then it retests here. So that's basically the idea is that if you see it retesting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, it's probably going up. And not only that, but if it's retesting this many times, it's probably going to go ahead and go on up to the next half level. You get what I'm saying? Because it retested this and rejected so many times off the 500 level, it's probably going up to the next 500 level, right? Half level to half level, 500 to 500, right? So it's probably going on up to here, right? Which makes sense because it came up here. Now maybe over here, we can't see off the charts, but maybe over here it had tested and based for a while, or something like that, and it just refused to go under 1,000. So that's a big number, right? So boom, test, boom, test, boom. Now is this perfect chart? Obviously not. I don't know, but it could be. Maybe it is. I don't know. But anyway, it's for educational purposes. So, I appreciate y'all watching. So, yeah. All right, cool. So, boom, boom. And so that's the idea, really, behind these key levels. These are price areas, right? Because, buyers and sellers, real buyers and sellers, they think in terms of price. You know what I mean? Not amateurs, okay? This is not amateur hour. This is professional hour. This is real deal Holyfield hour. This is this is not. I'm not playing here. We don't play here. Okay, on this channel. This channel is not for playing. All right. This is about getting real money, real grown-up money, real big money, real. This is about that grown-up money. Okay. This is about that big cake. All right. So basically, what I'm saying is, you know, this, you can see the pattern here, right? Boom, boom, right? Boom, boom, right? And so you have to think in terms of price, right? So you wanna make sure that you're buying and selling on these key levels, right? And then we've got things that we had not even talked about yet, you know. And on this chart, it's not really like, I didn't really draw it for those purposes of talking about trend, because it's key levels really. But you know, keep in mind that you also have and sometimes I use different colors for but we'll just go ahead and use this black, I guess. But you know, keep in mind you also have trend lines, right, to consider, right? So I don't know if that's probably not a straight line, and this is like almost too perfect of a trend, right? Like you almost never see a trend like that, you know. You know, but you know, and then you probably had already drawn one here from earlier, right? And you can see how it bounces and then it breaks and then it retests right here. And you see this spot right here? You see that spot right there? That's a big clue. That's called the, you know, some people say confluence or convergence or whatever like that. Because you have a, not only do you have a major key level, right? Like that's major, okay? So you have a 2000 key level right here, okay? And you have all these tests. And if you look back over here to the left of the, go back in time, and what you can do on MetaTrader 5, which is what I used to use MetaTrader 4, but I don't like the mobile app for MetaTrader 4 because it's just not as easily to use. But anyway, what you can do on MetaTrader 5 is right click on this little rectangle that you drew, and then you can set the date back like however many days or weeks or months or years or whatever like that you want to go back and look. So you can just boom, set that back over there, and that way you got the width set and everything. You can also go forward. But if you go back in time, you'll probably see areas where it also tested before, right? So, but what I was saying was, this is a confluence or convergence or whatever you want to call it like that, where you have this major key level, and then you have, you know, these test area. Obviously, this is future, right, over here. And that's why I was talking about going back in the past, right, and looking. But, you know, you can see, all right, cool, we already have one test here. So now you could just draw a little green zone right here. But then you got this trend line, right? It broke the trend line here, and then boom. So now you're like, all right, well, maybe, you know, maybe we're going down. And you're like, well, you said if it goes down from a 2000 level, that it'll go down to the 1000. Well, that's if the market wants to turn around, right? But if it's a bull market, it's going up, right? So you got to keep that in mind, right? Is the market sentiment bullish right now? How's the fundamental news? Is the fundamental news mostly bullish? How's the economy going for the United States of America? How's the economy going for Great Britain, right? What's going on economically in both of the countries? What's going on economically in the world, right? You got to keep that in mind. Which country is gaining in strength over the other country, whatever like that. Because really, like I always tell people, you know, Forex, when you're talking about a currency pair, it's like economic warfare, right? It's like, because when you have the most powerful currency, you have power, right? And so anyways, keep that in mind. If the market, and also too, like, you know, maybe we're on a 1 hour chart right here, but if you zoom out to the daily, right, and you're like, oh man, it's definitely a bull market, you know, And I'm just saying it's definitely a bull market because in this situation, it's definitely a bull market, right? Like Great British Pound right now, overall in the long term is bearish, right? But I'm just saying bullish right here because of this and stuff. You know, you could have a chart like this, maybe on the 5-minute chart, like a 5-minute, like if the overall, you know, monthly, weekly, daily trend is down, you can still have a 5-minute chart that looks like this. So, with all these things that I'm talking about. So, but anyways, yeah, so you know, maybe you go ahead and sell right here and take profits here, or maybe you do a double tap, boom, boom, and then you take profit here and see what's going on, boom, get another one here, take your profits here. You see this double bottom, you know, at actually this is a new trend line established, but there could be some previous price action from before or something like that. You don't know, but yeah. Anyway, so basically you see this double, you see this at a half level. You know the market's bullish overall, like for right now, you know, because maybe it's you know, bullish for like that week or those couple weeks or whatever. So, you know, maybe it's like right in that correction, right? That 2/3, that correction or whatever that you're expecting, or 1/2 correction, 2/3 correction, whatever. But anyway, maybe you're like, okay, the market's bullish, so boom. Anyway, now you buy because you're still expecting. It already went up, but you know, and another thing too is you know you're looking also for candlesticks here to signal if you think it's still bullish. You're looking at stochastics. Maybe you're looking at different indicators that you have or whatever to see. Do I think the market's bullish? You're maybe looking at moving averages, right, and stuff like that. So, you know, you always want to trade with the trend, right? They say the trend is your friend, and it is true. You always want to trade with the trend unless you get a definite reversal signal. Anyway, so you buy here. Maybe take another position up here if it still looks bullish, boom, and now you're at this 2,000 level. Once you get up here and we get a retest down to here, you can be, you know, I would be looking for another entry like right here to go on up, and then it's up to you how many entries you take and stuff. But you know, just know that that's just something that you're gonna have to figure out because. You know, obviously you want to get the best entries, but the more entries you take, the more money you make. But also too, if you take an entry too high in a bull market and you get a correction, you know, a lot of things can happen. You can lose money. You can blow up your account. You can, you know, totally not make. You can break even altogether, right? So say you were like $100 up, you took another entry. So I'm talking about like $100 account, small account. So maybe you took like a couple of 0.25s, you're $100 up, and then you take another entry, and then it goes down, and now you're $50 down on that one. So you're only up 50 for the whole thing. And then if it breaks down below, like if it broke down below here, say you did a double tap here on 2 quarter lots here, and double tap here on 2 quarter lots. And came up and you were like at 100 profit, well, that would be way more than 100 profit because these are would be 500 pips. So anyway, whatever, you were up, and then say that it came down or whatever, you know, then you got to make that decision. Like, so say you bought here and it went up and you were up a certain amount, and then it came down. Say it broke down below here. Well, if it broke down below here and started retesting, you might want to just like cut your losses and get out and save your money for another trade, right? You know, but it's you always want to try to buy, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, you want to look for bullish sentiment, like a bullish candlestick here, or like a reversal signal, something. If it was a downtrend and it comes and it hits this, you want to look for a reversal signal, and then you want to look for a bullish, you know, sign to the upside, whether it's a pattern, reversal pattern with some bullish candlesticks, whatever like that, or the stochastic oscillator, whatever indicators you use. But you want to try to get your entries at the 1,000 levels and the 500 levels, ideally. But you know, any entry at a quarter level is but you got to keep the overall picture in mind. Okay, are we headed up from 1,000 to 2,000? You know, is the market looking bullish? That I can think that we're heading up to here. Okay, well then it makes sense to buy here, right? Instead of just waking up, getting out of bed, and then seeing like, you know, whatever, seeing this, you know, retest right here, and then trying to sell, and then you sell, but then it goes up, and then you get stopped out eventually because it's a bull market and you didn't have the whole picture in mind, which is why you got to have the whole picture in mind to say, okay, you know, you know, all the stuff that I just said, okay, so now I have the whole picture, and like, you know, you got a reversal signal here, you know, with some bullish candlesticks, and the market's bullish, the fundamental news is bullish, the overall sentiment for the currency pair that you're trading is bullish, right? So you're like, okay, boom, so now it's bullish, and then so now you have the whole picture. But even if you did wake up out of bed right here and you had this whole picture in mind, and obviously this is future, but if you had this whole picture in mind of, okay, well, let me look at what's going on, then you would know, okay, well, I probably should not sell here. I could sell for just a 250 pips. You might could get lucky and get it to 500, but you know, you have to watch what happens here and see if it's going to reject off of here and just go straight up from here and not go down here. You have to look to see what it's looking like, what the candlesticks are doing, and what if there's, you know, the candlestick patterns are happening, and see what you think about it. But yeah, you know, you could get 500 obviously on this chart, you would, but having that overall picture in mind to say, okay, well, we're up here, but I think that, you know, since it's a bull market, okay, depending on how the patterns are looking and how the different indicators are looking and how the fundamental news is looking and how the market sentiment and the different economies of the countries are doing, and the different countries how they're doing, different things that you can think about. You could say, all right, well, instead of, you know, let me not think long term, let me not think that it's going down here, maybe I'll just take a small, because it's a correction, maybe it's a 1/2 or a 2/3 correction or whatever like that, or even a 1/4 correction. You know, there's different levels. You got the 33, the 50, the 66, and then you got the Fibonacci retracements that you can use. But you're like, all right, well, let me get in right here because, you know, I think we're going up, and then sure enough, boom, now you take another entry, boom, okay, good, oh, now we're above here, okay, boom, take another entry, right? So ideally, the best thing to do, you know, if you were like a longer term trader, thinking like big, you know, big money type, thinking like, you know, big picture type thinking, you know, you want to buy at the 1,000 levels and the 500 levels, right? So, you know, maybe you go a little bit heavier on the 1,000 levels, right, with your money, you know, because it can bounce around more, and I think that it, and like I said, you know, you can look on the charts and see if what I'm saying is on the charts, and let me know, and I would love to hear about it, and we can talk about it, and all that, and in the comments and whatever, or send me an email or whatever like that. But I think that it you know, and it kind of makes sense when you think about it, bouncing around more between these quarter levels right here, than like the overall picture of the 1,000 levels, right? So you're like, it's a more safer bet to, and this is not gambling, okay? This is not that. This is trading the financial markets, okay? It's like the book I've got over here on the title page. All right, read that out loud. technical analysis of financial markets. I don't know why I told you to read that out loud. I just thought that would be kind of fun. See if you're paying attention. All right, see if you are willing to participate in saying that. Obviously, no way for me to know that, but yeah. So anyway, but that'll be just for like to speak in the English language, that would be a better bet, right? To go ahead and buy at the 1,000 levels, right? And then the 500 levels would be your second best bet, right? And then your third best bet would be like the quarter levels, right? But you don't really want to be buying at the half quarter levels, right? So I mean, those levels are I could draw them on here, but I ran out of room. But those levels would be like 1,125, right? And then above here it would be 1,375, right? And I usually do red, orange, yellow, and then for those levels that I'm talking about, I do white because I have a black background on my MetaTrader. Just, it's better at night and it's better whatever. It's just what I use because I just think that it's like easier to see everything that I need to see. Because I've tried the white background and the black background. But anyway, so in the white I would have all these half quarter levels, right? So, but just because they're there, I usually make them a different thickness. So that way I know. So like I'll do like a double thickness on all their. You know what I'm saying? Like, have like a triple thickness or quadruple thickness, like a 4 pixel on this one, on these ones, and then have like a 3 pixel on these ones, and then a 2 pixel on these ones, and then a 1 pixel on the, obviously with different colors too. So red, orange, yellow, and then the ones I'm talking about would be white, right? So the one in between here, the half quarter level would be 1,625. This would be 1,875, and on and on and on. So 2,125, 2,375, 2,625, 2,875. So it's pretty simple to, it's just 125 increments, right? So you got 1,000 increments, 500 increments, 250 increments, and then 125 increments. Okay? So with that, boom, there you go. And with that, got to drop the mic. All right, there you go. There you go. Hopefully I'm in frame with my hands and everything. But I appreciate y'all watching. I know it's getting long. It's almost 45 minutes on the video, so I don't want to make it too long. But anyways, appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below or send me an email at forex@blakewills.com. Okay? Because that's my name. All right? Forex Money Flipper. And right here, boom, there you go. Hopefully you can see that. If not, we got a headlamp right here. So hopefully you can see that. I know it's not the brightest light right now, but hopefully you can see that. Try to shine it like where it doesn't have any glare. Is that better? Alright, well you can't say I didn't try, yeah? Alright, cool. Thanks for watching. I will see you later. Have a good one.